Hey, welcome back to another episode of Blended Family Matters, where we talk about real life, real faith, and real hope for the blended families. I'm your
Yeah.
girl, Alicia.
What's up? It's Milo again, and I'm gonna jump right in. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna boot. It is right in there. We're gonna be diving into something that was very important for us to navigate through our blended family journey, and
Right.
that was open and honest communication.
Absolutely. Communication can make or break the atmosphere in your home.
Mm-hmm.
We found that to be true.
Yes.
So, in a blended family where emotions, expectations, the histories, all of that start just colliding.
Mm-hmm.
It all just seemed like one big, thing
Yeah.
going on.
Right.
But communication becomes even more important when that happens.
Yes, it does. So today, what we're going to do is share some practical faith-based strategies that might help you in your family in terms of communicating in that blended family journey. So I normally throw it to her to start, but I'm gonna start this time, okay? So one of the things that was very important with us was the foundation of safety. And what I mean by that safety in particular, talking about the emotional aspect. What we found out was communication can't happen unless there's some emotional safety there.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with a lot of emotions. The parents have them.
Yeah.
The children definitely going through a lot of emotions. So what we had to try to find out or figure out is how to have an open line of communication is where those emotional barriers won't come in or these emotions won't rise up. And that took some time.
Right.
Because kids and adults, we've all struggled sometimes with opening up in communication. And it takes a safe place, feeling safe, not being judged and not being dismissed. That really helps bring down that emotional aspect.
Yes.
One of the things that the word talks about, God's word talks about in Proverbs 15:1, it says, a gentle answer turns away wrath. And that's so important.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're going to feel a little frustrated and you might want to just say some things. We got to understand that calm, gentle word, that calm, gentle dialogue can make things go a little bit smoother. And patience goes with that as well. Gentleness can create safety.
Absolutely.
So create an environment where feelings are welcome. That's important.
Yes, yes. When you talk about the feelings of welcome, that's one of the things I wish I would have learned when we were in the midst of the beginning. In the beginning of the middle of it. Okay, where that I learned through therapy, and it was a feelings wheel, and it gave all of the emotions, and it kind of drilled down from the generalization of emotions all the way down to what really was going on. So when you say that feelings are welcome, that is just so key.
Yeah.
That's something that we weren't taught. And one other important thing to remember is during your open communication, it's not a place to place blame. You know how you be like, well, you said this and you did this and you didn't do that. That's not the time to be placing blame. It's the time to really listen.
It really is.
And and receive what that person is saying, so that they won't go into shutdown mode.
That can happen. That has happened.
Yes, we have seen that happen especially when you're so quick. It's almost like you're playing double dutch. You're so quick to jump in there to put your, because you heard something that triggered a response from you instead of hearing the person all the way out. And then guess what happens? That person shuts down communication.
Yeah.
So what we have found to do, instead of doing the blame thing, we call it the I statements.
Okay.
Remember that? The I statements to help express your feelings without attacking the other person. Saying things like, I think I hear you saying, or I feel this way when you said that, opposed to you.
Right.
Throw it back on yourself. It keeps the conversation open instead of being, making it a defense mechanism.
Yeah, I'm going to say that same thing.
You know what
the
I'm
other
saying?
person don't feel as though they're being attacked.
Absolutely.
And they don't have to put up that defensive shield.
Yes.
Because we're trying to have some conversation, some dialogue. Mm-hmm. We're trying to break down some barriers.
Yes.
One of the things that we incorporated, what we found out worked with us as well, was regular check-ins. Blended families. And let me say this, because I want to keep it more specific to us. What we found is that our blended family benefited from intentional communication rhythms.
Yes.
Something like periodic check-ins.
Yes.
We talked about family meetings. So we're not talking about doing something every week necessarily, but just checking in, asking, how's work? How's school?
Yeah.
How are you feeling right
just
now?
General conversation.
How was your day today?
Yeah.
Things like that. It doesn't have to be formal. We don't have to sit down and allow time to have this meeting. No, there's a time and place to have these type of conversations, and got to be strategic with it. It can be organic. Maybe even at the dinner table. Maybe y'all going out for a walk or something, going to get some ice cream, and just these conversations that we can kind of start up to help bring down a temperature that may be up at the time, or also opening up that communication so we can get closer.
Absolutely. That is definitely the key. And when you talk about that, it's all about consistency. It's about being consistent is key in a blended family. So you're being consistent with that communication flow. Not just be like, oh, I'm gonna wait till the family meet. You know, and the kids like, oh, so we can't talk unless we having a formal, setting. No, that's not so. That's, you want to make sure that you have a consistent flow. You're building a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're building a relationship. So also listen when you're building a relationship with open communication. You want to listen to understand, not listen to respond or to get your point across. Thinking that that's so important. It's not important at the moment. It's important for you to hear that person out. And when I think about that, I'm reminded of James 1:9, which says, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And one of the things that my spiritual dad would say is that, do you realize you only have one mouth and two ears? So that you can listen double.
Come on now.
Double the time that
more
you
listening,
talk.
Less talking, right?
Exactly. So I thought that was so good. And when you do that, because if you notice that one mouth that you want to, jump in there and get your point across, that's where that anger comes from.
And that's truly communication too.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we kind of get communication distorted, where we think communication is we're always doing the talking. No, communication is a two-way thing. We're talking, but we're also listening to provide feedback, but also to get the context of what we're saying to one another, heading in a certain direction with this conversation.
Absolutely. The key is you're not trying to win the conversation.
Absolutely.
You're trying to connect. Think about when you start relationships, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship, you're trying to get to know one another, right? So you're not going to keep on jumping in there when someone is trying to share with you who they are and say, oh, wait a minute, I used to play basketball too. Oh, wait a minute, I used to. The other person be like, okay,
I can't get a word in.
You want to be the same. Look, it's a one-sided conversation. And but sometimes the most healing thing that we can do in our relationships, especially in a blended family, is to say, guess what? I hear you. Even if you don't agree, even if you don't understand what that person may say, respect one another's feelings.
Absolutely. And you and I had that. Certainly sometimes not the kids. It could be the parents.
It be the parents.
Having those communication nightmares or traffic jams and learning how to navigate through that.
Intense fellowship. That's what we call it.
That's a good way of putting it, right? So we talked about we're going to navigate or transition into clarifying communication.
Okay.
And doing it and having an expectation, an early expectation when we talk about this.
Sounds good.
A lot of conflict is in blended families comes from unspoken expectations. Mm-hmm. And I know when we first got together, we really didn't talk about what we expected. We were just caught up in all this bliss of being together.
We're married
now. And all this stuff. Kids are coming in. Yes. And it's going to be this and that. Mm-hmm. But what we had to learn was we had to have some things, some goals, some expectations for the family, on the children, for ourselves. Yes. When expectations aren't clear, people fill in the blanks, and that leads to frustration, y'all. Yep. And it led to frustration for us.
Yes, it did.
And let me give you an example.
I had to go outside and find some peace, y'all. Remember I told you.
So when we talk about those expectations, examples are, who's going to discipline? Who's handling chores? Who's handling what chores? Mm-hmm. If they're smaller kids, what's going to be the bedtime? If they're older kids, what's going to be the curfew?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the co-parenting schedule?
Yep.
All of that comes into play when we talk about expectation. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do it, people are going to run amok. You're going to find yourself frustrated, and then you're going to wonder why things aren't happening. Because, like in anything, you got to have some expectations, some goals that you're shooting for. If you don't, you're going to be shooting all over the place.
Absolutely.
Very important.
That is so important.
So, let me say one last thing about expectations.
Go ahead, say it.
Talk about expectations openly, so everyone knows what to expect and what to expect from each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one thing that we did as the parents, we talked about it behind closed doors first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we brought it to the children.
Yeah.
That was one of our agendas for our family meetings.
Yeah.
You know, so that everybody would know what to expect, how to expect it. You know, we had to set some guidelines, some boundaries, and all of those kinds of things.
Yep.
So that was so important. Because understand, kids in blended families, they carry a lot of emotions. Mm-hmm. Remember I told you in the beginning that they have dual citizenship?
Yep.
Because, you know, sometimes the children are traveling between the two households, and the two households are run differently. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to monopolize how things are going on in the other household, but in the same stance, you don't want them to forget how things are run in this household when they come over here.
Yeah.
So they don't like to express their emotions too much because they feel like, okay, I got a loyalty. Mm-hmm. You know, I got loyalty over here because this is my primary residence. So that's where my loyalty lies.
Yeah.
And if the parents are not co-parenting in a healthy way or a positive way, then there's conflict.
Right.
And the kid, and that goes right back to the children. You think that it doesn't, but it does. Yeah. The kids feel like, okay, now they caught in the middle of this conflict. Yeah. Because remember, they got loyalty right there. And then there's some confusion going on because they don't understand why their biological parents can't get along. Mm-hmm. But yet when they come over in this household, this outsider parent, that was me, y'all. Yeah. The outside parent and my biological, they getting along fine. Why you couldn't do that with my mama?
Right.
You know? Right. So then they're confused. And then some sadness comes into place. Because now they feel like, dang, I really like it over here, but I got to go back over here because that's where my loyalty lies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or I like it where I'm at. Why I got to keep coming over here? So some sadness goes into place. Excitement. We told you guys, one of our sons, he would always be mad all the time. Next thing you knew, one day he was enjoying himself. He was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be enjoying myself. He had some excitement because it was like, it wasn't as bad as he thought it was going to be.
Right.
And then there was some fears because now I am enjoying myself and I shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole lot of things going on with the kids and with the adults too, because they, you know, they're in uncharted waters, but creating an atmosphere to express, for everyone to be able to express themselves validates everybody's feelings.
Yes, it does.
Everybody
feels though they have a voice.
Everybody feels like they have a voice.
Even though there's, for lack of a better term, a hierarchy in the family, but one of the things that we talked about in a prior episode is that in the generation I came up in, you didn't get a chance to express yourself.
Right.
So social skills were hindered. Mm-hmm. Not knowing how to communicate.
Yes.
So we try to provide that for our children. And it took some patience, but also creating that safe space. So yes, so you can have a conversation, you can feel comfortable enough to express yourself.
Absolutely. And remember, when we're expressing ourselves, don't take it personally, because it's your feelings are valid. You know, that's how you feel. It doesn't mean it's your fault because I'm feeling this way. And the same way for the children. Don't take it personally when they say something, because remember, they're still trying to figure out things too. Right. And it's even harder on their level because they're kids.
Yep.
You know, so don't make it about you by taking their emotions personal.
Yeah.
Oh, they had attitude when they said that. They was looking at me when they said that one. You know, no, don't take it personal. They are processing a lot.
Yes. Yes.
They got a lot going on.
And we gotta, as parents, gotta be understanding of that.
Yes.
One of the things that we implemented, we didn't start off with this, but we started implementing it, is praying before and after hard conversations. You alluded to it when we had the family meetings from time to time.
Yes.
Prayer softens the heart.
It does.
It's that communication with God. Prayer brings clarity.
Yes.
You know, you pray and you hear God's voice, but you're pressing in to hear from him. And in that process, you're starting to get a peace that comes over you.
Yes.
Prayer invites God into the conversation.
Yes, it does.
And it also, now here's what you're doing too. It also teaches them, your children, to seek God when there are hard situations.
Yep.
All of this is an opportunity to teach, you know, to show them how certain things. So it wasn't like you and I would pray, but we would sometimes start meetings with the children. We're going to take this before God before we have this conversation. And here's why.
Right.
When we pray together before a tough talk, it shifts the atmosphere from me versus you to us with God.
Yes.
And praying helps seal the unity you're building. It really does.
Absolutely. We found that the prayer just kind of like broke down some of those walls.
It did.
You know?
Yeah.
And it also, even with the parents, you know, especially if you have a hard conversation to have, it even helped you to articulate it better.
Yeah.
You know, where you didn't have to come out angry if somebody did something, but you could come out with a little more compassion. However, letting them know what was done was not acceptable.
Yeah, when you're pressing in to invite God into something, it's hard to stay angry.
Yeah.
It's hard to get caught up in your emotions because you're pressing in to hear what God wants you to share. Or sometimes even, I don't want you to sit and listen to your kids this time. Open the floor and let them share.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because and like you said, it was teaching them how to make their decisions. You know, when they have some decision making to do, you know, take it before God.
Seek him first.
Because remember, we talked about seeking God for wisdom. If you ask him for it, he'll give it to you liberally. So that's what you're kind of doing when you're opening up that prayer.
Right. So let's share this. If communication has been tough in your blended family, because it was in ours.
Yes.
You're not alone.
Nope.
Sometimes the enemy think you're the only one going through it, and you're not the only one going through it. So be encouraged.
Welcome to the club.
Yes, it really is. It's a journey.
Yeah, it is.
It's a journey, and you're not alone. And it takes patience. It takes keeping God, that threefold cord.
Yes.
Keeping God as the focal point, as that foundation. But with intentionality, grace, and God's help, your home can become a place where everyone feels heard, valued, and understood. That's so important.
It is so important. And you know what that does? It creates healthy communication. It doesn't happen overnight, guys.
No.
This takes practice. This takes consistency.
Yeah.
This takes effort. This takes intentionality.
Yep.
You must keep doing it. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes they may not want to talk. Sometimes you may not even want to talk.
Yeah.
It was a whole lot of times I was just like, I don't have anything to
like
say. But my whole face was just saying a whole lot of stuff because I don't play poker, y'all.
Right.
But it does happen. We've witnessed it happen in our family time and time again when we committed to it.
Right. Absolutely.
And guess what? Your family is worth it. So why not try it? Try some open and honest communication in your blended family.
Yeah.
With your children, with the other co-parents.
Yeah.
Try it.
Try it. Yeah.
It's worth the effort. And guess what? Put God first in it. Start with them, close with them, and God is with every step of the way because you started with them and you closed with them.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the first place.
Yes.
That's the first place to start. So look, thank you for joining us today on Blended Family Matters. We really love having you. Like we always say, take the nuggets.
Yes.
Apply what's for you.
Absolutely. Share this episode with friends and family, another blended family who needs some encouragement.
Yes.
Let them know that it's a community out here that is welcoming them with open arms. Don't profess to know everything, but guess what? We've been through a lot of things.
Yes. Yes.
So until next time, we ask that you would don't forget to check us out on all social media platforms. Go to our website, fruitfulfamily101.com, to see what we got going on. We also will have a special event coming up this summer for blended families. So you don't want to miss that. We're in the preparations of it now. And we also have a blended families event on October 17th, I believe. That information is on our website.
Yep.
So until next time. Good night. And good night.
Hey, good night. You're Carol Burnett. Pull your ear.
We're glad we had this time together.
Y'all have a good one. And